You know, I've been playing a lot of 2v8 recently, and I thought to myself, this is nice. You know, what if the game was like this all the time? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying 2v8 specifically. Part of the fun of that mode is the novelty, honestly. You know, just having it for a couple weeks, enjoying it, and then you go back to the normal game. You know, I get it. I'm not going to say do 2v8 all the time. What I'm saying, though, is that, I play 2v8, and all I think is like, which killer do I want to play? And which class do I want to bring? And do I want to invite a friend? And that's about it. You know what I mean? I don't think about like, what perks am I going to bring? What add-ons am I going to bring? What's the synergy? How do I counter whatever the survivors are possibly going to bring? All those elements in the game make it feel so complicated and so alienating to new players. And it makes the game feel more like a card game than a video game. You know what I mean? It feels like you're playing Pokemon and you're thinking like, or Magic the Gathering or something like that. And you have to think like, okay, what deck should I bring? What's my opponent probably going to bring? What classes and types of cards can I bring to counter what they're probably going to bring based on like the current meta in the game? And that kind of stuff is natural and it happens in games a lot. But Dead by Daylight has always been a very simple game. You do gens, you get chased, you hide, you try to escape, the killer hooks people, tries to kill people. It's pretty simple. Hooks, gens, chase, stealth. It's about it. And it's always kind of been this idea of like, you can just hop in and just play a game and it's fun and it's cool. And it's kind of was always meant to be like a party game. But it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like something very complex, something almost like competitive and something very nuanced, And if you think about the scenario of like, hey bro, that was pretty fun. You want to play? Hand someone the controller. You can play as Michael Myers. Look, you can play as Jigsaw. You can play as Albert Wesker. You can play as the Nemesis. Like, no one's ever going to do that. Because if I ever try to hand my friend the controller, like, no. Why did that person just free themselves from my grasp? How did they just take a hit without going down even though they were already injured? How did that person instantly pick that person off the ground? Or if you're playing Survivor, it's like, how did the killer just make my gen blow up from across the map? How did they just vault through that window and then block it and now I can't vault back through it? How did they make that pallet get blocked so I can't drop it? Why am I healing slower? Like all these things where it's like, you have to have a very deep, nuanced understanding of how the game works in order to even play it well or good at all, or to even really have fun. Because if you don't know what's happening in the game, how are you supposed to do your best and try and have fun? Like, it feels like there's so much learning required just to even get okay at Dead by Daylight. And then you're still going to get shit on, especially if you play Killer. But my idea is, right, we all know in the Dead by Daylight community, Killer is getting taken out back and shot in the head with a Remington shotgun. The devs want to make the game more enjoyable for survivors because there are 4 times more survivor players than killer players. It's a 1v4 game. That's just how the math works. And I get it, but the solutions that they're doing are so short-sighted that it's impossible to not think, can't we do better? And, we can complain about how much it sucks to play killer. I wanted to make a video about why it sucks to play killer, why I don't like playing killer. And I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I asked myself at the end of the day, what does this video accomplish? So I wanted to make this video to give a possible solution. What if we took perks out of the game? What if we took add-ons out of the game? It doesn't have to be the whole game. It could just be a separate casual game mode. There could be a ranked game mode and a casual game mode. But what if you load into a match and all you have to worry about is which character am I going to play? Maybe which class am I going to play? What if you could just pass your friend the controller and say, hey, you want to play? They got Michael Myers. And not, oh, hey, they added more pallets. Oh, don't hit a survivor who just got unhooked because they get protected. Oh, don't hit that survivor because even though it's been a minute since they got unhooked, they're still protected. And if you pick them up, they're going to stab you. What if it was simpler? I don't know. It's going to be hard to edit this. I ranted a lot. I didn't make a script because I was just like, it comes from a place of emotion. It comes from a place of love. I love this game. I love the potential of what it could be. And it makes me so sad to see it getting ruined by these short-sighted solutions to fix statistics.